Okay, good afternoon. Again, I've literally just finished a video. I'm going to do this one. This will be it for the day. I'll go spend time with my doggy and we'll go out to the garden for a while. And hopefully it won't rain. What am I looking for? Today we're going to make these sweet little, I don't know what they're called. Hold on, I see what they're called. I forget. Oh, they're cute bathroom shelves, but they don't have to be for bathrooms. They could be for kitchens. And here they are plain. Quite nice. They're really strong. And this one here, I glued a cocktail stick in so you can hang little towels and things on. It could be in a kitchen or a bathroom. A child's bedroom maybe. You could hang little baby grows and things or hangers out of it. But here we go anyway. We'll get stuck in. Now I'm not going to glue. Oh, I didn't get everything counted out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll do that now in a second. This is your PDF layout, and out of this one sheet of 300 GSM cards, you're going to get 2 of these. Magic. The files come in DXF, Vector, PDF and SVG. And as always, if a file that suits your machine is not there, it should. Those files pretty much cover all machines, including laser cut machines. But anyway, if there's a file there that does, if the files don't suit, I'm getting tongue-tied again. If the files don't suit, let me know and I will format whatever file you need. Also, if you want, as usual, if you want to resize these, make sure you grab everything, bring them down or bring them up to whatever size you need. This is your template guide, and I'm not going to lecture you anymore. Just print it off and use it. So, I forgot to count these out beforehand, and I'm not turning it off. How we got 6? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put it in its respective place. And you will never go wrong because these all fit perfect. All the pieces fit where they're supposed to fit perfectly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do you see how they fit perfect? So you really won't go wrong. Now I'm only going to glue down 2 pieces. I'll do the large piece and one of the side shelves. Because if you've watched all my other tutorials, I'll drive everyone insane. You're constantly gluing down. Whatever piece you're working on, take it off your template guide and put it beside you and you won't go wrong. Especially if it comes to sides and there's 2 sides and you don't want 7 or 8 on one side and only 4 on the other. It'll be lumpy and bandy. Now I am putting on a slathering of glue. And I'm getting my edges. I'm getting a fair bit of slagging over get your edges. I have family members and friends going, did you get your edges? It's one of the most important parts of making this furniture. That's why I'm always saying it. Put a dab in the middle and work your way out to your edges. Only put enough glue on that you know it's going to stick. Don't overdo the glue because you'll saturate the card and everything will stretch and it won't dry out properly. It'll be all uneven. I'm trying to remember my spot. The last video I went off a few times. I'm brainwashing myself here. Remember your spot. Slathering the glue, I know by looking at that I put too much on, so I'm just going to wipe my fingers and run my fingers across. You don't need to use your finger. You can use a paintbrush, whatever way you want to glue. Whatever suits you. I just prefer this way. It's much better for me anyway. Yeah. if you want to make a lot of these for gifting or selling or whatever you want to do with them, work on a few at the same time. You get 2 from one sheet, from one cut. Do 2 or 3 cuts and work on a few at the same time, because there are parts of this where you have to leave things to dry. You know, you could do them in stages, so you're not left sitting there twiddling your thumbs waiting for things to dry out or be bored out of your head waiting for things to be ready. I'm pushing everything up as even as I possibly can, and I'm applying a lot of pressure. See, I can feel how hard that's going to be already. Now I'm going to put that back into its place. I'm just going to take one of these sides, and that's all I'm going to glue for today. These would be lovely little, you know, room fillers or wall fillers if you have a gap somewhere in the doll's house that you want to fill, or you want to show off your lovely things you've made, your handmade plants and different things. I mean, that would be lovely with you know, those lovely jars and bottles and things people are making out of beads. Perfect. And a few towels hanging out of the end. Just a light slathering of glue, enough to stick and get your edges. You would have a good few of these done in one evening, sitting at the kitchen table, watching the old telly, or maybe a glass of wine or 2 or 3, maybe, which I have done. But yeah, I love it. It's very therapeutic. I really do. I love sitting of an evening, usually Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening after dinner. If I'm working on designing a new project, I do my sticking down then, mostly. And I find it very therapeutic. I just get lost in it. And I'm all the while, I'm imagining and thinking about what way I'm going to paint it. And I know it's an obsession, I know. But it's an obsession a lot of you will understand, especially if you love making miniatures and you love your dolly's houses. I'm doubting myself there that I counted them out right. 1, 2, 3. No, I didn't. That's okay. Whoops. It just felt thick. Yeah, look, when you progress from here, that's when the beauty of it is you can recycle any kind of card. Once your machine will cut it, you can recycle and learn to play around with the depths of the card and how many layers you need or how many layers you won't need. But I am going to say, go along with me the way I'm doing it with 300 GSM cardstock until you get used to the process. And then you can play around with the recycled stuff, which is a gift. Now that's done. I have it back in its respective place. Now what you do then is, pretend these are stuck down, you literally just put a heavy weight on them and leave them for a couple of hours. Again, depending on where you live. Here I would leave them 3 to 4 hours because it's lashing rain out for the past few days here and the moisture's in the air. You'll get away with small pieces, but you won't get away with larger pieces. You'll have to leave them overnight to 24 hours. So I'm going to take these away, put them aside, and I have these already made up. I will make it up now. I have my gloopy glue. I literally, this is where you make your decisions. Do you want a really high shelf? You know, you can place the shelf wherever you want. If you want, this is the way I do them with the scallop up top, but you could reverse it around and have the scallop down the bottom and just a plain top. It's up to you. It really is. You decide for yourself what you fancy. Now I am going to go up a little bit more that shelf could have done with being up a bit more to allow for the cocktail stick for the pole. So I'm trying to be aware and stay in my spot. I'm going to put glue on the very edge, and then the side. I'm going to judge off this one. Wrong side, wrong way up. I'm doing scallop side up. I'm kind of going to go to there, I think. Yeah, I'm going to go to there. And what we want is to make sure everything is flush to the edge. Straighten it up a bit better. Turn it around and make sure it's straight. Two sides are even. Does that look even? Does it look even? Even. I made too much work for myself, I really do. It was perfect the way it was, and I had to play around with it. I think I might have gone up a bit too high. Down a little bit. I think that's good. Yeah. I make this look so difficult because I have to do it away from me. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put glue very gently. I'm holding this very, very gently. I'm putting glue on the edge, all the way down, and on the outer edge of the shelf itself. These are so easy. You could probably do this without me even telling you what to do, because they're pretty easy. Now this is where you decide. You can have the curvy bit going up, continuing the scallops, or you can have the, you know, this less curvy bit up. It doesn't matter as long as you do the two sides the same. So I'm putting my curvy side up, nudging it up to the shelf, bringing it down, making sure it's even on the bottom. The same on this side, curvy side up. Put your fingers. Curvy side up, nudging it up to the shelf. Now I'm going to have to bring this into me for a second, because I need more glue. I need more glue. There we go. Thanks be to goodness for that. I thought it wasn't going to go for me for a second. What did I do wrong? Now I think that's all pretty much even, isn't it? Get down. Now I'm going to just slide it because I got loads of glue on the mat. I'm going to pick it up in a few minutes. Play around with it a little bit more just to make sure everything. I think that's good. It's kind of going lampy to one side, isn't it? I have to bring it into me. I'm sorry now. Yeah, that's it. Yep, that's it. Now we're going to leave that to dry for a few seconds. Have I got a cocktail stick? I just want to make sure. What did I use on that one? I can't. It was an actual cocktail stick. No, it wasn't a cocktail stick. It was I think it was a skewer. Leave that to dry for a few seconds. I'll be back in a few minutes. I'm just going to go look for the skewer for this. Now, okay, that's kind of, I got a bit of glue there. Get off, get off, get off. Right, I'm just going to hold this as gentle as I can. And what we're going to do now is get rid of, now, I'm going to hold it up here. And I'm pointing to here. See the ridges? I hope now it focuses. Just another couple of seconds, because sometimes it doesn't focus and all you see is blur. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of all these ridges using water-based PVA glue. and I'm blobbing it on. Nice big blobs. That PVA glue is going to dry flat. We'll wipe off the excess in a few minutes. The ridges there are pretty deep on that one. And that's okay. They're going to be gone. Gone Gojeelits. Gone. I'll do this part here. Now you'll have to do it in a couple of stages. This is why I'm saying work on a couple at the same time. Work on a few at the same time. It'll break the monotony a little bit. I think all of us people who work on dolls' houses, sometimes patience, a little bit of patience is needed. I'm just going to get in on the edge there, and then I'm going to blob it on with my fingers because it needs a bit more. You're raising it up, you're almost doming it. Now I think rather than mess around with it too much, you can see how it's all raised up there. That's taken away those ridges. And no one will ever know that that's made out of cardstock. Now, you see, again, I forget what I said at the start of this, whether I mentioned it's 300 GSM cardstock. A4 300 GSM cardstock. Just in case I forgot again. Now here's one I glued earlier. I'm going to try hold it steady. You see, the glue dried flat. You can sort of see the ridges, but they are actually gone. It's really cool, actually. Now you know what's coming next. We're going to do our varnish. I should have showed you the varnish, but sure, look, it doesn't matter. I'll show it in a few minutes. Now I'm slathering it on. Always varnish first, always. You want this varnish to soak in, and it's going to strengthen it no end. Globbing it on, and then I'll go back over it later on with a dryish brush and smooth it all out. Every little nook and cranny in the edges, everywhere. This is just going to strengthen it and hold it all together beautifully. Now I'm going to try let you see what happens here, just making sure that's not glue. I hope it can. I'm always trying this out that the camera can actually catch what my eyes see. It's soaking it in. You can actually see parts of it drying already, that it's just soaking in. Look at it, see it on the edges here and here. So I'm going to put more on and then smooth it all out. Nice and even strokes. Magic. This varnish is magic. I love it. Now I'm just going to re-examine the front of it and just smooth everything out. Nice strokes. It's nearly dry in parts. Would you believe that now? Now I'm going to just leave that on its side like that, and I'll move it again in about 4 minutes. This will be touch dry in between 10, 15, 20 minutes, depending on where you live and what if it's damp, humid, or scorching hot. Lucky people who live in those really hot countries. Parts of America and Spain and France. Even the UK. The UK get 10 times more sunshine than we do. And they're just literally, what, an hour flight away. It's gas, isn't it? how things work out. I'm just giving my brush a quick wipe. Now, is there anything else? We'll put our skewer on in a few minutes before we do our first coat of paint. Now I'm going to leave that to dry for a couple of minutes, and I'm going to try find, I have a particular colour paint I want to find. I found it. It's this one here. It's a sample pot, but I love the colour. It's very vintagey. I'm in a vintage frame of mind. These sample pots are brilliant. Water-based. Everything water-based. I know I'm always harping on. This is the varnish that I use. My penultimate favourite product. It's non-yellowing and it's water-based, more important. So if you're looking at shopping for a varnish, if you can get this, grab it. It's brilliant. I'm not affiliated. I'm always saying this. I don't make a penny. I'm not trying to, this is the best product ever, especially for making this type of furniture. But if you're in the States, this is a UK company. I don't know if it's available in the States or, you know, around parts of Europe, but it's non-yellowing and it's water-based and it's a matte finish. They're all very important, especially the non-yellowing, because by it being non-yellowing, that means it's archival quality. It won't go yellow, you know, over time. Now I have some pieces I've done well over 5 years, since before COVID, and they're still the same colour and they're still as strong as ever. So I know that varnish works. But this is dry now, so we're going to go all vintage. Oh no, we're not. We're going to put on the skewer, the little pole. Nice blob of glue on each end. Now I hope I have this trimmed to the right size. Now we're going to just, what am I going? The wrong end. We're going to just squish it in there, out near the edge, as near to the edge as you can, and try get it even. And hold it in place for, that looks even, doesn't it? Just say yes. I'm just gently squishing it in place. And I'm going to leave that to dry for a little while and to settle before we put paint anywhere near it. I know it's varnished already. Just leave it to dry for 10-15 minutes. That doesn't look even to me. I'm just going to, I'll put another little bit of glue on. Slide it back up into place. I'll have to pull it into me, I'm sorry now. I'm off camera. That would drive me insane if it's dead crooked. Now that looks good to me. Now I'm going to squeeze it and hold it into place, and then I'm going to leave it to dry for about 10-15 minutes so I can paint it. Just get the excess glue. Oh, I'm trying to take the excess glue off and I keep knocking it out of place. It's irritating the life out of me. Now I'll just leave that to dry for about 10-15 minutes. I just want to show you the skewers that I used. I got these in, again, I think Mr. Price. That's like, in Ireland we have a store. It's a bit like a dollar store, and it's called Mr. Price. So that's what I used anyway. What are they? Pure skewers, or for making kebabs, I think. Now, okay, we're going to go vintage with this. Good shake. I've already given this a good thorough shaking. This cocktail stick, it's optional, the skewer stick. I mean, you can leave them plain. You can put little hooks. You know, you can do what you like with them, you know. I'm pretty sure if you're interested in them, you're thinking what you would do with them. Now, I hope this doesn't knock out. I'm just giving it a light coat. Oh, it's gorgeous, that colour. I love it. The skewer makes it more awkward for painting, but sure, look, it doesn't matter. Well, I'm off camera, aren't I? Oh, I have to stop doing that. Now, I'm going to squeeze this just in case that comes loose. The coat of paint in around the edges, and then the next coat, the 2 coats of paint and the varnish is going to hold that in place. It won't budge. Just making sure I get all underneath it. Underneath that shelf. Any globby bits. Oh, it's gorgeous, that paint. It really is lovely. It says it's grey. Hold on a sec. It says grey nuance. It's not. It's green. It's vintage green. I'd love to know who names all these things. Hilarious. It's like me on the website when I have to name everything. And the names my backing papers, they're named after friends, they're named after birds. You know, some of the backing papers have ridiculous names, but I can't use the same names. I have to use different names for the website to register them. So you might have a bit of fun looking through all the different names. So I can understand some of the crazy names for the paint. Just a light coat. This paint dries so fast. And just to reiterate, water-based everything. Now, if you were to put oil paint over all of this, it would crack, it would be destroyed. And oil-based paints do nothing for this type of furniture because the paint and the oil-based varnish, it doesn't soak into the paper. So you're not going to have the same strength. Now, I can see a couple of crevices there where, I don't know if you can see it. It's going to need a bit more glue to get rid of those ridges. And that's not an issue at all. When this coat is dry, you just redo your ridges or anywhere that's annoying you. Yeah, that's a gorgeous colour. I'm just going to leave that over there to dry. Now, my main mission, as I'm always telling you, is just to make sure that I teach you and show you how to put these pieces together. I don't go crazy on effects and paint effects, but I promise I will do a good 2 tutorials at least on different paint effects, different styles, different kinds of paint you can use to make marble effect and leather effect. And I will do that. I give you my word, that will be soon. Because if I was to say, for instance, if I was to try and make this look like a leather effect at the end of the tutorial, the tutorial would go on for hours. It would go on too long. So for now, oh sorry, this, when it's dry, this has had its first coat of varnish and its first coat of paint. Leave it overnight, leave it 24 hours to cure. Then examine it and see if you have any bits you need to re-glue to get rid of the ridges. Leave that to dry for a couple of hours. Then do your second coat of paint. Then leave that to dry for at least 3 hours. Then do your last coat of varnish and it will be fully cured in 48 hours. And then the magic happens. This is the same paint. It's rock hard, everything tightens in. It's like a little miracle, you know, a little tiny miracle. It's just fantastic. No one is ever going to know you made that out card. Okay, for now, I'm going to say slán go fóill, and I'll see you soon for the next one.